Hey y'all, welcome back to Just a Girl Talk. My name is Janine, and I'm so excited to be here today on this beautiful Saturday. So happy Saturday to everybody. Hope everybody is having an amazing day thus far. If you're watching it live or if you check it out later. So yeah, so I'm really excited. I'm number one again. I just want to keep saying how proud I am of myself of just being consistent over here on YouTube because I like it over here. I do. I really like it over here. And I think obviously we know consistency is key. If with anything that you do, you have to be consistent. And sometimes it can be hard to stay consistent when you don't see immediate results because YouTube and TikTok are two different things. They grow at two different pace. You can literally go from 10 followers to 5,000 on TikTok in like literally 24 hours. And it's not like that over here on YouTube, you know? So I am just happy to be here and to be following through on what I what I plan to do. So anyway, we're getting into it. We're getting right into the conversation. Today, y'all, we are talking about the Queenmaker, Miss Priscilla, the Queenmaker. And I'm just going to speak from when I first got on the internet, not on the internet, when I first got on TikTok, I wasn't familiar with a lot of names. Like I wasn't aware of all the like celebrity women. I didn't know anything about Sprinkle, Queenmaker. I didn't know any of these women. I didn't because I wasn't Instagram didn't have it. Like Instagram, you really see with who you follow, and that's that. And I don't really have women on Instagram who really speak up or talk about this type of stuff. So for me, I'm just like when I first heard people talking about the Queenmaker and it said Sprinkle, I'm just like, who are these people? Like, who are they? And people will reference them both as women who pander and coddle to women and tell them that they're great, they're phenomenal, men are the problem, and blah, 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 right? So when a few months ago, I had actually shared a post on my channel over here on YouTube about the Queenmaker being exposed and basically being called out for her behaviors, like with her dating life, but more so just switching up her tune, right? And I think what I've seen lately, because it seems like from my how I've seen things, that once that live came out a few months ago with B Teller, and she kind of talked about her experience and kind of laid everything out and kind of was finally honest about what was going on, I feel like that's when we really saw a shift in the Queenmaker's content. Because I think after that is when she kind of came out and was like, no, women are the problem. She was delusional. She was this, she was that, like blah, 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 blah. So it was kind of like, wow, when you get called out by a woman, you're now pulling, what did we say? You're pulling like the man thing to do, which is to blame the woman, I guess. Not the man thing. What's the right word? Like, not take accountability and blame the woman, right? But typically, right, you don't usually do that. They're usually saying women are the best. Women aren't the problem. It's the men. It's the men. It's the men. And she literally was just on an interview dropped of her being on this podcast. The podcast is Real Life Productions. I don't know if it's a podcast. Actually, it's a YouTube show. They did an interview with her. And I want to jump in and we're going to kind of just talk through what she says. And a lot of what she's saying now, y'all, is what I've been saying, right? And not in a way to tear women. Like, I don't try to tear women down. I don't. I just want to bring stuff to the forefront of like where we are and we need to do better, right? So I feel like with her, it's coming like a weapon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. We're just gonna get right into it because, again, you have to be very mindful, ladies, of who you listen to, because one minute they are all for telling you that you're great and you don't do nothing wrong and you have no problems and everything is peaches and cream, right? They're telling you whatever you want to hear. Whatever you want to hear, they will tell you, right? They have no problem telling you whatever you want to hear. But when things change, right? When you do something they don't like or you call them out, things change. So I feel like a lot of women who were once bowing down and taking all of her advice because she promotes that women don't even need to be with men. Like almost like women should just be with women. She is a lesbian now. She was married to a man. So I feel like that's y'all, this is what's happening. This is the reality of what's happening. So there's an agenda with a lot of these women. There's an agenda out here. Very much an agenda. So let's get into it. I'm not going to do too much more rambling. Let's get right into it. And yeah. Hold on, let me go ahead and share the screen. Let's make this thing bigger. And let's do it.
I already knew women had issues and that they needed to be helped, but I realized how deep the problem really is. I realized, like, let's say this is where women need to go. And this is the absolute bottom that a woman can be at.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that women might have been right here.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they might have been right here and they just needed some help to get here. But after that, I realized that women down here, instead of me thinking they were here, needing to go here, I see that they're here instead. That they're worse than what I had originally thought.
Women are at the bottom. Women are at the bottom. And I don't know if she's speaking specifically on any particular race. But we talk a lot about how, women of color struggle in this area. And I feel like, I'm not mad at her for, I guess, now coming to the realization of how things are, not mad at it. I think it's disingenuous. I think it's how she probably always felt, but it was making money and it was working, and you can become famous and become a big influencer and just a big creator when you coddle to women, especially Black women. If you make them feel like, you're against the man, the Black man, if you tell them that they're precious and they're perfect, you know what I'm saying? It's going to work. And I feel like it was the agenda, and it might have came out sooner than late, sooner than she might have wanted to. Maybe she wanted to kind of ride out this plan for a while. You know what I'm saying? I think so I feel like I just feel like when I've said this before, like how women are at the bottom. And when I say at the bottom, y'all, I'm thinking about statistics wise. I'm not just saying it at the bottom just because of like, just, I'm speaking about stats, like the bottom of marital rates, the bottom when it comes to health, the bottom when it comes to single motherhood, like all of that stuff, like statistic wise, look at how things are, our behaviors, our actions, like, So again, she thought they were up here. And, I feel like her thinking that women were like right here, right? This is the bottom, women are in the middle, and this is up, and they got to go up. I think you put them here because you just wanted to be the woman who was also delusional to think that women aren't the problem. It's the men. It is the men. But let's keep going, y'all.
Real life. Real life.
No, that's real. That's real. Now, when you first started
Real life street stars, man. We are in here with a reoccurring guest. I think y'all by now know. We got Princella, Pastor P. Do you got any other nicknames that you go by?
They call me the Queenmaker.
The Queenmaker. The Queenmaker. How many queens have you made, do you feel like, since you started?
Whew, thousands. I'm spanning across the globe. So I've changed a lot of lives because, being a queen is about being sovereign and being able to stand on your own and govern your own life and use critical thinking capabilities. You know, so I've really changed a lot of people's lives from all over the world. So I can't put an exact number on it, but I know it's in the thousands.
Not this now. When you first started,
Wait, y'all. Does anybody know? She said that she's changed or helped make thousands of queens, right? Thousands of queens. Cool. Cool. Like the whole, like, you know, a queen is supposed to, you know, stand her ground, stubborn, and stand on her own and all that. Like I feel like that, yes, from what I know her content to have previously been, it was about promoting independence. Like just do your, if you could very much create thousands of queens, because women want to be coddled to and told they could do it by themselves. They could, because again, I believe the agenda initially was, or it could still be, I don't know, but this is just my opinion. The agenda was for women to not be with men, women to just be together. You don't need a man. You can do it by yourself. Blah, 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 blah. Like that was so I feel like creating a bunch of queens. I really want to know what does that consist of, or like who, like what are the, like, did you go from having women who were single, are they now married? Were they once broke and now like had no vision, no money, no life, whatever? Did you help them start a business? Like what was the queen making? Like how did they become queens? What did you actually do to make them become queens, other than big, you know, fill their heads up with foolishness, fill their heads up to think that what's the word, like they can do whatever they want, it don't matter, live your life, be free, you know? Like that's my question. What was their heads being, what were they being taught? What were they being taught? Let's keep going.
the YouTube game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you start making your mark. And now, you know, you fast forward and you're one of those people that's sought after, looked after as far as being an orator, speaking, giving advice. How has your life changed since the first time you've been on YouTube till now?
Oh, it's drastically changed. You know, I used to drive trucks, and prior to doing the internet thing, it was like I was driving trucks for 6 years, and I was like, it's about time for me to stop doing this, because I got so many other skills and talents that I'm really not tapping into. And to make a long story short, I was making about $1,100 a week driving trucks. And I bought a car the last day of the month, December 2022. 2023, 3 days after that, I ended up getting fired from that job.
You got fired from truck driving?
Yeah, they said laid off, but to me, it's fired, because they come to me talking about, oh, you know, we ain't really got no work, so we're going to have to let you go. You know, rates and changed and all that. And so to me, it's the same thing. Laid off, fired. At the end of the day, I still ain't got no job.
Right.
So I knew that I didn't want to go work for nobody else after that. And I just was going to put full time into what I was doing. So this is when I wrote the book, went ahead and finished working the book, 41 Shades of Men. And that year I made more money than I ever made in my entire life. I made over $250,000 that year.
You know, it's so funny. I seen a quote, right? Somebody said they started working for themselves when they realized it don't take no hour to make 20.
So she said that she wrote a book, 48 Hours of Men. Let me look that up, because I want to, because I think if you're strategizing of how to become famous, how to become how to become popular, go viral, platforms. Did she say 48 Hours of Men? Hold on, let me see. Because I want to look that up, y'all.
$20. That's it.
Oh, hold on. Come on. Because I want to look this up, y'all. I want to see. I want to really see. Is it 48 hours a men, y'all? All right, let me go back because I want to see what she said. 41. Why would I say 48 hours? Yeah, I didn't really. Don't start. Do not start with this internet. Do not even start. All right, 41 shades of. I don't know where I got 48 hours of men of men from. But my point of what I was saying was that I think when you are getting into this content creator world, if you want to stand out and get, women are the best consumers. You know, delusional women are even better. You know, women who you know, just need somebody to hype them up and tell them that they're great. Those are the best people to market. You know, those are the best people to market to. Lack accountability, who never have to be held accountable, who don't hold themselves accountable, who like to do whatever they want to do, and who most importantly love to blame men, right? So it says, hold on. It says, let's share it because I want to see. Let's see what this book is like because I want to look this up, y'all. So this is what the book says. All right, so this is the book. It's The Game, 41 Shades of Men. Let's see, was this a book that was geared toward, okay. Dating in today's market has become increasingly more difficult for the modern day woman. No matter how her approach, it seems that she's damned if she does, damned if she doesn't. Question is why. 25 years of experience, carefully studying and analysis, it has become very evident that women have no understanding of male psychology behavior. They are aware of what drives his behavior and what they're unaware of what drives his behavior and what. Unfortunately, without knowledge, women will be left blindly and to pick up. Okay. This wasn't okay. So Priscilla Clark. Her real name is Priscilla. Whatever. Removes all the mystery of the male behavior and a short but impactful guide to decoding the hidden intentions of a male's pursuit of you. Unlike other books, they focus solely on the dark psychology, personality types, and addressing the damage that has already been done. The Game, Shades of Men shows you 41 different motivations of male pursuit, which will ultimately give you the power to level the playing field in dating. Discover the true nature of men, what males are and are not capable of. Okay, so this doesn't seem too bad. It don't seem too bad. It don't seem too bad. And again, I think when you comment, if I don't again, she was married. I don't know. I was not around at that time, so I don't know what was happening, you know, around that time when she got on the internet. But what I was trying to say was basically that I feel like when you are trying to get started, especially if you come in and you're watching, you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this, but then you see women are liking this, you'll tell her it, you know. So in the midst of like trying to help women date men and get, you know, understand men better, I'm gonna give you some tips and tools of what I believe is a problem with men and how you can better, you know, date them or better, you know, much better aware of them. So that doesn't sound that bad. That ain't bad. We going, that ain't bad. That doesn't sound too far off.
$1,100 a week.
Now, you know, you do come back. I see you with the blingery going. So the YouTube streets must be treating you well. Talk about the transformation. You know what I'm saying? We do see you glowing up. We see the glow up.
Yes.
We also see her, y'all. She very much in a more masculine attire. I want to say when I first saw her, like came across one of her posts, she was more feminine. Like makeup, she just had a more feminine look, or she was going for a more girly look. Here she's straight man. Straight masculine, straight man. That's what it's given today. So
talk about that.
Well, you know, life is about transforming. So the more you learn, the more you grow, the more you tap into unrealized parts of yourself. So when I first started this thing, it's always been about women's empowerment for me.
Oh, here we go.
But I learned so much going along, and what I've come to realize, part of the glow up for me is realizing that women need a lot more help than they're actually getting, because their issues are not just surrounded by men. Most of their issues lie within themselves.
Oh, yeah, I said that, y'all. I've been saying it. Nobody want to listen to me. She said, again, her whole thing started out by empowering women, aka lying to them and telling them that they're great and they do everything perfect and it's not their fault. But now she realized that their problems don't lie with men. It lies within themselves. I've been saying this, but they don't want to hear me. I've been saying it. Nobody don't want to listen though. The problems keep again pointing the finger at everybody else, making it like everybody else is the problem, is one of the biggest issues that many women struggle with. And again, it sounds like initially that was where she was going. I'm empowering you to be free, to do what you want to do, to live your life however you want to. You don't need a man. Like that's.
And coming to realize that the message has taken on a new evolutionary path in a direction that I didn't even know how deep it could be. But at this stage in the ball game with leadership development and things like that, we're evolving into speaking at conferences and events and things like that to really, really hone down where women need to really transform to help themselves, because I think we get really lost in this idea of relationships. So where I've evolved into is really more of a spiritual direction, as opposed to just focusing on relationships, if that makes sense.
That's good, because I was actually going to ask.
So she's seeing it more from a holistic approach. She's helping them take a holistic approach on life. So again, what she's saying, y'all, I'm not upset with her realization. What upsets me, or not upset me, because I'm not upset. What bothers me is the fact that so many women listen to these women. They listen to who's ever popular, who's ever coddling them, and who's ever telling them whatever makes them feel good is what women love to listen to. And you have women who will do that just to take your money, just to keep you at the bottom, to keep you beneath them, because they don't want you to supersede. They don't want to give you anything that's going to make you more powerful or bigger than them. They don't want to. They're going to spoon feed you. Keep you right where I can see you, keep you right, where I know that you're never going to flourish. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm telling you, you're not going to ever work with a real man, a good man. Like that's my only thing. But a lot of women fall for it. They do. A lot of women fall for this behavior. A lot of women like it. They enjoy it because it makes them feel good. It makes them feel good. And that is the problem with us as women. By telling us whatever makes us feel good is also harming us, and it's keeping us at the bottom.
Ask you, right? If anybody's followed you, right, you have some quote unquote controversial, if you will, thoughts about men versus women or men and women.
Mhm.
Have any of those thoughts or the things that you preach, has any of those changed or evolved? Right. I remember watching a Malcolm X movie, and he said that, at first he was so centered on only Black people till he traveled the world and seen that other white people believe in Islam just like they do. And so he evolved, and that's kind of what changed him. Now that you speaking to many women, many men about these scenarios that you preach, has your stance changed, or is it still the same?
Well, let's see.
It's still the same, but it has evolved, because when I began doing this, I've always saw it in phases, and I've always saw it as an evolutionary path. And in my mind, I've always known that women needed a lot of help, that women needed a lot of development. But in order to start that process, women needed to know about men, because ultimately women don't know anything about men. They think they do, but they don't. They know nothing. And so a lot of women have their identities wrapped up in men. So speaking about men are really only like 10% of the equation. Women are 90% of the equation. So after I talked about men are men. They can't be anything more than that. They're not going to change. They're not going to become cats, dogs. They're not going to evolve into women. So after I finished speaking about men, there's really nothing else to tell women about men that I haven't already told them. So once that conversation is over, now we have to turn the mirror towards women. And what you find out is that in these dynamics, 90% of the discussion has to be on women. And I find that women have a lot of problems. I find that women are very, very narcissistic, and they do not realize it. I think women lack a lot of self-awareness. And how I've taken my message, because I've got a little comedic edge, I find a way to show women themselves in a way that not many people can get women to admit that they are wrong. I have a way of getting women to admit, damn, I'm a terrible person, right?
Yo, my question is, she wrote that book, she said she had 25 years of experience. Well, how did you get this experience? From what? She was married? Like, and I'm just speaking of, like, you realize, like, where's all this experience come from that you could write a book about men? And because women know nothing about men, but you know everything about men. You know everything there is to know about men. The other women don't know. And why is that? Like, I guess I'm trying to figure out, how do you know everything about men? How does she know everything about men? But you knew nothing about women as a woman. You didn't know any of this stuff. You know why you knew everything about men? Because you were too focused on perfecting and trying to create in my opinion, create a narrative about men to pander to women. That's why you were expert at men, because you were trying to focus on trying to find ways to flip it and switch it up and make it sound good to women to make sure they knew who men were. But how you just, all this experience, you just now realizing that women that have all these problems. You just now realizing that, again, like I said, you didn't realize it. I think you knew. I think she knew, and I think if she had, what she's saying about how, she only talks about men at 10%, I feel like the whole thing is somehow always related back to men being the issue, and men don't know this, and men can't do this, and men are not good for women. All that stuff, even if it was a small percent, it was still a large part of it and what women click to. So to just figure this out, that women have all these problems, it's like, come on.
Right. I've gotten women to see how terrible they are as friends, as relationship partners. Women are terrible relationship partners, right? But, you know, for me, it's about the truth. This is not me taking sides, because I believe that the world is in shambles. I believe that the communities are jacked up.
Absolutely.
I believe that, and all of this has to do with human behavior and how the sexes relate to each other and how the sexes relate to the planet. So it's not all on men. Men have their things that's wrong with them.
For sure.
I spoke about that.
But the question I was going to say is that with men, right, I feel like as a man, we're held accountable at almost every turn, right? Your mama holds you accountable. Your friends hold you accountable. Everybody kind of holds you accountable. Do you see the same type of path for women?
No.
Okay.
No.
So
I think women are allowed to be, they're allowed to be delusional. They're allowed to not be disciplined. See,
So why is that? Why are women allowed to be delusional? I'll tell you why. Because nobody holds them accountable. If no one holds me accountable and calls me out for my bad behavior or my poor behavior or my poor choices, or somebody tells me what I'm doing is right, I'm going to remain delusional and I'm going to be allowed to do so because no one holds me accountable. I don't hold myself accountable. My friends don't hold me accountable. My family doesn't hold me accountable. So I'm going to remain in my delusion and blame everybody else for my problems. Because nobody's going to say to me, hey sis, no, it wasn't me. Like that was you. You made that wasn't on me. No one's going to say that. So yes, women have been allowed to. And what she's saying is women have also not been disciplined. Women have just, again, women will run if they are in a feeling of being held accountable because they don't want to be. They don't want anyone to tell them about themselves. They don't. They don't. They don't. And that is the problem. That's the problem. She said that she, you know, what is equal. It's not on one side. It should have never been. On my platform, as y'all know, I talk a lot to women specifically because I feel like we as women hold the power in the card, especially when it comes to relationships. We are the ones who dictate the men that we have in our lives, how they treat us, who we welcome into our world, who we allow in our space. You know what I'm saying? Like we are responsible for that. So that's why I'm always letting women know that if you want to get different results in your life, if you want to meet different people, all these different things, you have to know that this is where you are. Where do you want to go? You got to work on your behaviors. That's why I focus so heavy on women, because again, we as women are responsible. We are responsible for our actions. You know, we are responsible. Y'all, please make sure that y'all like the live as well. Share the live out. Anyone that you know who might be interested in watching the live, definitely share it out. Support the channel if you would like to support it via Cash App, or send a special super chat over that you would like me to check out and read. I sure can. So just thank you guys in advance for the support. I really, really appreciate it. But yeah, like I said, I just think that people feel like, for me, like, why are you always talking about women? Why you care about Black women? Let them do what they want to do. And it's just like, because I want us to see better. I want us to recognize like this where we are, because again, it's a lot of women like this woman right here who doesn't believe. They don't want to believe it. They don't want to hear it. They just think everything is perfect. And it's like, girl, you don't want to be burned. Sorry, y'all. You don't want to be burned by the sisterhood remaining in a delusional state of mind. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep going.
See, give you an example. If a boy child is crying and a girl child is crying, if he fell and she fell, they're going to look at him and be like, boys don't cry, this, that, and the other one. And they'll just look at her. That's what girls do. They're just emotional. Let them cry. Let them do this. Well, that's bad. because as girls grow older, they never know how to control and govern their emotions. They're allowed to allow any emotion, anger, frustration, sadness, depression, no matter what, they're allowed to express it however they want to express it. I've also come to the conclusion that, well, let me back up, because everybody knows that I date women.
Right.
And
everything is designed.
That's pretty much. I wonder how, like, soon after her divorce did she date men? I mean, women. I'm just curious. I feel like a lot of women go to dating women when they divorce. I don't know. It's interesting. Hold on, y'all. Let me get it back to the stage. Come on, come on.
relationship where a man might be putting his hands on a woman, they're not including the other side of the equation where women are putting their hands on men and men are not calling up cops.
True. Yeah.
Women are very violent. A woman will put her hands on a man. She will hit him, spit in his face, call him all kinds of names, and everything is totally fine. Women are allowed to do this. And nobody should say anything about it. Now, these women they will be in these relationships and they will hit a man and they will take that same behavior and they'll take it to a lesbian relationship. See, it's the same person, same behavior.
Right.
Right? But it's looked at as different because the man is stronger and he's expected to hold himself. But a lot of times in a lot of these relationships, women are extremely narcissistic and violent. And this is what I have discovered as I continue to work with women. And so what I realize is that
now, just lie. You discovered that by being in a relationship with women. I realized that because I started working with women. No, that's because you're dating them. And y'all in there fighting. B Teller talked about her actions and how she would be really controlling and just do some weird stuff. So come on, just be honest and just say, like, this is what I've again, that people do say that. People do say that lesbian relationships are extremely violent and it's a lot. It's a lot. That's what they say. So again, you're just realizing this stuff. Okay, again, I'm not mad at what she's saying. Nothing she's saying is a lie. This is not to disagree with her. I'm not disagreeing with her for the most part. Like I said, my only gripe with it is the fact that I don't know, people love to just, I don't know, people just love to switch up and act like they just came to this aha moment. It's like, no, sis, you've been watching other women. It's like almost I'm trying something different. Like that worked for a while. That was the content. All right, let me go over to this side now and I'm gonna try this type of content because that might work to pander to the women and to men now, or make men feel like they're the greatest. I don't know. I don't know. Something about it just doesn't seem authentic. I just think there's a difference. I don't know, like we all evolve and we all can grow and we all can obviously learn something different, learn something new. But what you're saying is just like, girl, you don't like, this is what it's already been talked about. Men have been saying it. Men have talked about this to her, have expressed themselves and talked about women. And it's just like, no, that's not what women are doing. It's the men. It's the men. It's no. And the problem that lies with this, right? The problem that lies with all of this is, like I said, you got women who listen to this, and then now they're caught up in like the delusion that you've been able to create for them. And now they're like, I'm stuck now. I don't know what to do next. I don't know what to do. Because I was going by this version of like how I was supposed to behave, how I was supposed to act. I'm doing what I want to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't. This is the tough part of content creating, is staying true to yourself while evolving, right? And also not getting caught into what everyone else is doing. You know, people might assume, people will say like, oh, you know, you're just trying to jump on a trend and talk about Black women because that's what everybody's talking about. It's like, I can see where you might feel that way because that's what everybody's talking about, or everyone's calling out bad behaviors or whatever it might be, or issues with women, issues with men. These are conversations that need to be said, because men and women are the two genders on this earth. We interact and do things together. Like, we are the key to the world. When we're together in relationships and jobs, a lot of stuff, like why would we not talk about how to better coexist, how to better, you know, be together, you know, grow together, make money together. Like, men and women are the end all be all. So when people are like, don't talk about men, don't talk about women, it's like, well, what are we talking about? Kids come from men and women. Like, everything revolves around us as human beings and our behaviors and our actions. So again, I think, what Queenmaker is saying, like, no, women can be delusional, and women stay delusional because they have women who lie to them, women who tell them that they're great. Like I said, women who don't hold them accountable. So we will continue to have that. And again, I don't know. She said that she's, you know, maybe making a different turn. Let me see, because I feel like, let me look on her. She has an actual YouTube channel, y'all. Let me see. Like, does she have a? So the Queenmaker. Does she have her own YouTube? I never saw her. I feel like I've always seen her on like other people's interviews, but I don't know. Like, does she have her own YouTube channel? She's always like doing interviews, but oh yeah, is it the High Power? Oh yeah, she does. Okay. It's the High Powered Podcast. It's on YouTube. She has 95,000 subscribers. Okay. She talked about, she was just live about talking about like yesterday, talking about Dr. Sarah. Is Dr. Sarah a pick me or a bad bee? That was alive. So okay. Okay, Queenmaker. Okay. But even y'all, I'm so confused because let me show y'all. Cause this is the stuff. Like, upgrade your stuff. Upgrade, because this is not okay. Let me show y'all. Hold on. I don't know. That's why I said I can't take it, because sometimes it's, let me just y'all. Cause we got to be consistent, y'all. It's too much confusion in this world. And literally looking at one clip, y'all, had me confused. One little second of the clip had me confused, because I'm just like, if I'm evolving, if I'm changing, if I am, you know, doing all of this, I'm going to try to make sure it all matches. That's my opinion. That's what I would do. But let me just show y'all because this is too much. Okay, hold on. Okay. So she's obviously dressed like a more masculine, but then you got the picture over here, very exposed, more promiscuous. I wouldn't even call this feminine, but we'll go with feminine for the sake of better word. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I just think that, as I said, I'm not disagreeing with her. I don't think what she said was wrong. I don't think information that she's sharing is wrong. I think, like I said, I think this is a way that is going to keep women on her side, is to make it seem like it's this aha moment, like, oh my God, I just figured it out. Like, that's how you're going to be able to, like, you can transition over to the side where you're holding women accountable now and not telling them what they want to hear. It's like, oh my God, y'all, I dealt with this one woman. She was so bad off. I now realize that I got more work to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the way to, like, not say, I've been knew y'all was a problem. Didn't care. I was trying to make my money. It is what it is. Now I'm gonna make my money in this way. So you can do the trauma bond and bring them over here for that. So again, it is what it is. Again, coming to the realization that women are now down here, as I've been saying, the bottom of the bottom, especially us as women, us as Black women are at the bottom. We're down here at the bottom, y'all. The bottom of the bottom. We are down bad. And we got to be able to rise up. And one of the ways to rise up is to be held accountable and to hold others accountable, to surround yourself in positive spaces, around positive people, spaces that are pouring into you, that are meaningful, not closing your legs, so yeah, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this conversation. Again, if you can go and, like, just put in Queenmaker, you'll see this interview. If you want to check it out and watch it, you absolutely can. But definitely, if you missed this live or you missed the beginning, go back and watch it and let me know in the comments what you think about this, what's your thoughts on the Queenmaker, anything like that. Again, if you want to support the channel, you can support via Cash App. I appreciate the support, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.